Good afternoon. My name is Evan Shortsleeve. I'm a senior civil engineering major at Norwich University, the Military College of Vermont. I'll be commissioning as a second lieutenant in the U.S. Army on active duty in May of 2018. I'd like to thank the ASCE student paper competition for being open to students to express our views on such a critical topic, as well as the paper reviewers and especially Justin Hess for making this virtual presentation possible. As we look forward to the future in sustainable infrastructure, we ask ourselves how to engineer toward goals such as the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Today I'll be addressing a very specific approach to achieving several of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, namely number 6, clean water and sanitation, number 9, industry, innovation, and infrastructure, life below water, number 14, and number 11, sustainable cities and communities. The first idea here that I'd like to talk about is the increasing trends in heavy downpours in the northeastern region of the continental United States. Climate change is redistributing rainfall patterns, causing some locations to receive more rainfall and others to receive less. This is explained at length in the 2014 National Climate Assessment at globalchange.gov. Within the last 6 years, we have prime examples such as Hurricanes Irene and Sandy that quite literally took the Northeast by storm. The second idea that I bring to the table is population growth, which likely we will never see change in our lifetimes. The third idea is a trend of increasingly crowded cities. According to the U.S. Census Bureau 2013 data, 63% of Americans resided in what are referred to as incorporated places, which is another name for cities. I challenge you to think of stormwater management as a mass balance issue. As you picture a storm sewer network, be it combined, separate, or sanitary, mind that we have historically added impervious surfaces to municipalities, jammed more people into the areas that the sewer network originally was meant to serve, and our climate has been changing to produce more annual rainfall. Just so that everyone's well oriented here, we have sanitary sewers, combined sewers, and separate sewers. When stormwater volumes exceed the capacity of these systems, we get overflows, untreated directly into receiving water bodies. What's depicted on the screen is a combined sewer, and a combined sewer overflow on the right with a wet weather condition. According to the last available U.S. EPA report to the Congress on the state of CSOs in the country from 2004, 850 billion gallons of sewage mixed with stormwater are discharged into the U.S. waters annually. When challenged to reduce stormwater volumes entering our sewer networks, the way I see it, there's two approaches here. I like to think of it as the London approach and the Philadelphia approach. There are certain sets of circumstances that promote one over the other and vice versa, but the cut and dry version is that the London approach involves redesigning sewer networks and adding storage chambers, whereas the Philadelphia approach involves supplementing the existing sewer network with GSI. The Philadelphia approach tends to be more successful. However, in large stormwater volume scenarios, the London approach is more feasible. The picture here depicts the London Thames Tideway Tunnel, a 4.2 billion pound sewer redesign. Again, with the London approach, you can either redesign or you can add supplemental GSI. So on the cheaper side of the house, which is more appealing to me because I am on a college budget, Philadelphia has taken the minimalist approach to handling its combined sewer overflows, which is supplementing the capacity of their existing system, and they're doing this through the use of GSI. Green City Blue Waters is a 25-year cost savings program that uses GSI as a vehicle that drives a reduction in overflows entering their local water bodies by 85%. As we engineer towards the Sustainable Development Goals, our objective is to meet these goals in an affordable manner, which makes GSI much more practical than sewer network redesign in most cases. I want to bring you all home here to Vermont, which is a small rural state in America with less funding than larger cities. Certainly addressing surface water quality by targeting combined sewer overflows does not have the same funding as these larger cities, so GSI is much more attractive in places like Montpelier. GSI seems to be becoming a very growing trend in Montpelier's sewer management, actually. And being a combined sewer overflow community on the Winooski River, GSI helps keep the stormwater out of the Winooski. So everyone is familiar here. The EPA defines GSI as a cost-effective, resilient approach to managing wet weather impacts that provides many community benefits. And the following list here is just what they consider GSI, types of GSI. And I'm about to get into what I've spent time researching this summer, which was bioinfiltration, another name for bioretention, specifically looking at rain gardens. So here you have a bioretention profile. This was retrieved from the 2017 Vermont Stormwater Management Manual that came out in July 2017. I'd like to emphasize here that GSI does not demand large trees and shrubbery at the surface to be effective, as depicted in this this visual. Although plant root structures improve soil structure and uptake of water and nutrients, most of the work is done by the soil media and bioretention. So I spent a fair amount of time researching the volumetric and pollutant loading capacities of bioretention this summer at Norwich under the direct supervision of Dr. Tara Kulkarni here, and found that in bioretention they can generally handle the water quality volumes with upwards of 90% removal of total suspended solids and upwards of 80% removal from total phosphorus. And when I was testing, I was getting complete 100% TSS and upwards of 90 with total phosphorus when I designed in accordance with the 2017 manual that Vermont put out. And the way I assessed decreases in annual volumetric and pollutant loads was through WinSlam stormwater modeling software, which is depicted here. I've got a screenshot of the profiles where you design bioretention. That's right here. That's this big one, and this here is the general site portal. You have all your different land uses on the left. All this area, lovely graphics here, I know. And you have your commercial site, which your junction to your outfall. And what WinSlam does is it helps you understand your site performance at the outfall, and it helps you to design and see how GSI does on that site. In closing, I'd like to summarize the connection between increasing trends in annual rainfall, increase in pervious surfaces, obviously CSOs and SSOs, economic interests, and then narrow down to the obvious result. Put GSI in, and it makes it all easier. It's cheap. The CSOs and SSOs are mitigated, and it really tackles the issue of increased rainfall and greater impervious surfaces. So here's my contact information along with my research advisor, Professor Tara Kulkarni. Professor Kulkarni has been an excellent motivator and a positive influence on my short academic career. I am in my senior year here, undergrad. She's just guided me through various research ideas since I first stepped into her fluid mechanics and environmental engineering classes last fall, and it's just been such a great influence and mentor through all of it. Also, I'd like to thank the competition and the conference, and acknowledge that from this paper competition really spurred my interest in summer undergraduate research in green stormwater infrastructure, which really opened up my eyes to who I was as a student. Opened up my professional interests a little broader. My senior project, this ties right in with my senior project, which is part EPA Rainworks competition, part Lake Carmi phosphorus mitigation in Vermont. And I'd like to apply all this that I've learned throughout this whole experience, and getting involved in these issues in my Army career. I think it'll benefit me tremendously throughout throughout my time as an officer in the United States Army, and as well after. So thank you very much, and please feel free to email me or call me with any questions. Thank you. Have a great day.